Caroline Hall, and this is my Fresh Tape Creator Tape. I am the only daughter of a football coach with 2 brothers, so naturally I was always around sports growing up. Being a girl, I couldn't play football, but football was always my favorite sport, so I had to figure out a way to get on the field without putting pads on. When I was in 4th grade, my mom made me do 4-H because she didn't want to sell Girl Scout cookies. I took all the city kid classes like sewing and arts and crafts and photography. My mom actually taught my photography class, and that's kind of where it all began. I had this little blue digital camera, and I would make my poor little brother pose in our backyard by the flowers and on the swing set. Thank you, Matthew, love you so much. When I got a little older into high school, I joined the school newspaper, so that got a camera in my hands and it got me close to sports. I basically told my dad, I have a camera, I'm coming to your games, I'm shooting on the sideline. I would sit there on the sideline on Friday nights and I would live tweet the game. I would take photos, I would give them to the school paper, I would post them on my own, put them on Flickr. Does anyone even use Flickr anymore? Growing up in Missouri, one of the best journalism schools in the country was just down the road, which aligned pretty perfectly with what I wanted to do. I lucked out and made a connection with Kat Lucchese, who at the time was the multimedia coordinator for the football program. She so graciously let me job shadow her as a senior in high school a couple times, and then let me be an assistant for her once I got to school. At the time, I really just did photography. Thankfully, Kat pushed me into videography because I absolutely fell in love with it. I worked there the entire time I was getting my undergrad and then joined the football program after I graduated. This took me to places like the NFL Combine, on the field during game day, draft night. It was so crazy to see how the industry was changing, how the job was changing. When I started, you couldn't even post videos on Instagram. I think it's such a fun challenge to work in a medium that's always evolving because you have to evolve with it. I decided I was ready for a bigger challenge. I took a job at Rice University in Houston, Texas. I wanted to be in a city that had more to offer than just a college team. Big sports city, we have 4 pro sports teams, and I knew I wanted to get involved in that. I was lucky enough to make that happen through the NFL's LCC program. I am my absolute happiest when I have a camera in my hand, especially when I'm standing on a football field. So to do that at the highest level was so surreal. It really opened the doors for me for a lot of other opportunities. I got to shoot an event with PBR in Houston. I got to work with NECA Gumake. I got to shoot the NHL All-Star Game, Media Day with Fresh Tape. Shout out to the squaw. And then COVID happened. I think the cool thing about working in the creative field is just being able to see how many talented people there are out there. I'm so inspired by each and every one of them every single day. I feel like my future plan's constantly changing just as the creative landscape is constantly changing. I think overall, no matter what position I have, what title I hold, I really just want to be able to tell people's stories and just make some really, really cool content. I definitely have a couple events that are on my bucket list, the Super Bowl being #1. But away from sports, I would love to work the Met Gala. I think my biggest piece of advice and something that I'm constantly working on is just finding balance. I think it's so easy to always be chasing the next title or the next role or what sounds the most impressive. But at the end of the day, you know, everything is temporary, and I think we all know that right now. So I think it's just so important to not put your worth or your identity in a role or in chasing this idea of what the perfect job is. I think it's really just being able to adapt, to find joy in wherever you are and not always be worried about what's down the road. Make sure that you're enjoying life and you're enjoying the people around you and you're enjoying the moment, not just the ones you're capturing. Even when you're in a position that you don't like or you feel like you're getting a lot of no's or you know, there's something else you'd like to be doing. I think it's just so important to look at every opportunity that comes your way, be thankful for it, and look at it and say, you know, this might not be my end goal, but what can I learn in this moment that's going to prepare me for that end goal? I can't stress enough how honored I am to be part of this series. So thank you, Mom, for not letting me do Girl Scouts. I don't know if I would be where I am today if it weren't for that photography class that you taught in Hartsburg, Missouri in 4th grade.